Okay, welcome everyone to the Instagram Mastery for Busy Business Owners workshop. Today we're going to go over how you can get your Instagram posts seen without having a huge amount of followers, without having to post every day. Doesn't that just kind of sound like a dream come true? Like, that's what we all really want. We want to put as little effort in and get as big of a return as possible. So I do have some common sense tricks up my sleeve I'm going to share with you guys today. I can't wait to dig in. Thank you so much for being here. Now throughout this class, if you learn any nuggets of wisdom, screenshot them or take a picture with your phone, however you're watching, share to your Instagram stories, and tag me at Love Mary Pendleton. I will share your post. I will follow you back. We'll become Instagram besties. It will be awesome. So make sure you give me a tag. Okay, and let's figure out if you're in the right place. So write heck yes in the comments if you are aimlessly posting on Instagram, asking the question, what do I do next, multiple times a week. Give me a heck yes in the chat, or give me a that's me if you know what steps you need to take, but you just need someone to walk you through them to make sure you're doing it right. So either way, if you know what you need to do, you just need someone to remind you, or if you're completely lost, you made the cut. Whether you're in the first group or the second, you're in the right place. I have help in store for you today. Let's get started. Okay, so today we are going to go over the 4 pillars of Instagram success that I apply to all of my clients. We're going to learn how to start positioning yourself for maximum exposure on Instagram. And we're going to learn how to approach your ideal customer in an authentic way that makes them fall in love with you, right? And not be repulsed by weird salesy tactics, which I'm sure we have all been victim of before. You know what I'm talking about. It is the worst. So does that sound good? Let's dig in. Oh wait, but first we are not getting into Content Creation 101. If you want more of that, I do have an Instagram Essentials bundle that I think you're gonna love. It's free. I'm gonna share the link at the very end, so you have to stick around for that. It's awesome. It includes a download about optimizing your bio. It has 5 types of hashtags essential for every account. It has Instagram highlights checklist, and it has 5 fill-in-the-blank Instagram captions for accounts just like yours. So stay tuned for that. So first, let's think about, why are we even on Instagram? Why is Instagram different than other platforms? And I like to treat it like a magazine. No, I skipped a thing. I like to treat it like a welcome mat to my business, right? So like there's a whole bunch of cold leads going by. You're out in front of your business, introducing yourself to people on the street, and welcoming them inside your shop, right? So that's kind of how I treat Instagram. We want to meet as many strangers as possible, befriend them, and then welcome them inside and tell them more about how you can help them, right? So I like to treat it more like a magazine and less like a catalog. So think more like a Real Simple magazine and less like a J. Crew catalog. So it's not just like a lookbook of things that you're offering, things you sell. Instead, it's like a place you can share kind of editorials, recommendations, products related to the problem that you solve, kind of like overarching, where all this stuff keeps pointing at your service, but it's not all directly about your service or product. And then one awesome benefit of Instagram is that people are self-segmenting themselves with hashtags. So it's really easy to find your ideal customer just based on the hashtags that they're using in their own posts, which is so different from Facebook. Also, a way it's different from Facebook is that you can talk to strangers and it's not really that weird. On Facebook, if a stranger friends me, I'm like, who is this person? Who do we know in common? What are they trying to do? Really on Facebook, you need like a one-to-one relationship first before you can start building that relationship bigger. But on Instagram, the walls are all kind of dropped and it's totally different culture. So we're gonna dig into that a little bit more. So nice to meet you. My name is Mary. I have been running a business on Instagram since 2015. Honestly, it's still my happy place on the internet, in the digital world. I'm a mom of 3 kids, like I was talking about at the beginning. I have a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old, so super busy. But yeah, I'm an Instagram manager based here in San Francisco, and I have really found ways to streamline Instagram and still be a involved, happy mom. So I'm going to share that with you today. Yeah, I've worked with clients from coaches and nonprofits, all the way up to big name travel apps, national food chains. I love my client work, but I also love working with bigger groups of people where I can kind of teach you how to do it yourself. So I kind of have the 2 sides to my business, but my goal is always to help purpose-driven business owners improve their visibility so they can get out of that like stagnant period on Instagram and start improving their bottom line, because that's what we all as business owners want to do on Instagram. We're going to get into my story a little bit later, but first I want to dive into some of the meat and potatoes, give you guys some value right up front. So let's talk about the 4 pillars of Instagram success. So whenever I have a new client, these are the 4 pillars that I keep front and center with my clients. Feel free to screenshot this one. We're going to go through each one step by step, but it's personification, shareability, WIFT, maybe you know what that is, maybe you don't, and alignment. So let's dig in. Okay, let's start with personification. So like, honestly, if social media was summed up in just one word, it would be personification. Your Instagram should be a way of adding personality to your brand so that people want to become friends with you. They want to build a relationship with you. And that's kind of how you grow those connections, how you grow followers. It's all, and the way to do personification is to keep the look and tone of your brand super personal, super conversational. I like to do this with contractions, emojis, acronyms. It's so funny. Some of my clients will send me these blog posts that they want me to turn into Instagram posts. And it is written so formally, like not a contraction to be found. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go through and I like pop in as many contractions as I can. And I try to like rough up the language a little bit so it doesn't sound so formal. You almost want it more like you're texting a friend rather than you're reading a textbook. So that's personification. And also shareability. If you want to grow, creating shareable posts is honestly the #1 way to do it. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm just talking to some friends right now, but I gotta stay focused in here. Thank you. So shareability is often one step before virality. Having a post go viral is actually pretty challenging. And it's kind of like you can't really plan it, it just happens. But shareability, having a post get shared, that's something that you can construct more easily. But shareable posts, they start conversations, they're memorable, and they gain you a lot of incremental gains for your metrics, right? Little shares here and there build up to a lot of people seeing your account. Also, people, by sharing your posts, they get social credit by sharing your posts in their feed, right? They're like a curator. And somehow, if you have lots of posts that they love to share, they're going to value you more because you're making them look good to their friends. And just a note, I have found that shareable posts, the more shareable posts have text on them and not so much faces. People like to share text because then it feels a little more personal to them. Whereas if it had your face on it, it kind of doesn't seem like it's coming from them as easily. Do you know what I mean? Sure, I mean, face posts are really great for the personification that we talked about, but text posts are really good for shareability. My 5-year-old just started blowing bubbles through the door. Okay, next is WIFT, which stands for what's in it for them. So this, you want to put value front and center with every post. Your audience is there to be educated, inspired, or entertained. Someone did a study, I forget where honestly, but these are the 3 things that people react best to in marketing: being educated, being inspired, or being entertained. So all of the posts that I create fall into one of those three categories. And lastly, alignment. Your social media goals should really be in alignment with your business goals. So whether your social media goals are to build authority, build hype, make sales, all of your posts should be achieving that goal in alignment with your business, your overarching business goals. Does that make sense? So like, sometimes people forget to sell on Instagram, basically is what I'm trying to say. So make sure that your Instagram strategies are supporting your bigger business picture. All right, but I have to tell you guys, when I started out, it was not all systems and strategies. I actually accidentally became an entrepreneur as a fashion retailer, I think 5 years ago. So am I alone here? Did anybody else kind of stumble into business or entrepreneurship? Write in the chat if you kind of just like ended up as a business owner because it was kind of on a whim and you didn't know what you were getting to. Yeah, Lucretia totally stumbled into it. Yeah, that was me. I randomly decided to start selling leggings on Facebook back in 2015. I ended up falling in love with social media because, yeah, like I said, I was selling leggings on Facebook and Instagram. I didn't even have a website. I only sold them like on social media. And actually, it taught me how amazing social media could actually be. And after a while, other social retailers came up to me asking for help, saying, "You're doing such a cool job with your Instagram. Can you help me with my Instagram too?" So yeah, my social media management side gig was born, and I ended up closing my my clothing boutique after a few years. Actually, I used to run it out of this room right here. This room was packed full of clothes, clothing racks on every single wall. And I had 3 kids and they all shared the other bedroom. And after a while, I was like, this doesn't really make sense. I should just close my clothing business, focus just on social media so I can have this like laptop lifestyle that I was hoping for. And I thought I had solved all my problems. Once my son moved into this room, I'm gonna close the door. Hold on a second. I thought that by doing all of my business digitally, I was going to have all my problems solved. However, so I thought I found freedom in my laptop lifestyle. However, it didn't take long to realize that this awesome laptop lifestyle was actually really stressing me out because I did not have any systems in place. I was so overwhelmed. I was pretending like I was multitasking in a glamorous way, but actually I was totally a Facebook fake. Drop me a note in the comments if you have ever felt this way also. Putting up an appearance online like you have it all together, but in reality you are super stressed out, totally overwhelmed, stuck in the muck, and yeah, this is the reality. Total lack of direction and focus, super chaotic. I almost felt like I was like stuck in a swamp and I just needed someone to wade in, what are those called? Those really tall overalls that are, I am a city girl. Waders, gators, what are they called? Anyways, I needed someone to wade into the swamp and just like show me the way out to the shore because I was so stuck. And I was just like, anyways, you guys, I found the way out. I'm going to walk you through it today. If you're feeling this way, I am here with a boat. I even brought snacks for you, and we are going to get through it together. Waders, that's it. Yep. Thank you. Okay. But before I found my way out, what did I do? Of course, I gave up. I gave up on Instagram. I focused on Pinterest instead. It actually did not fix the problem. It just transferred the problem to a different platform. It was nice. I was creating really pretty pins for businesses and curating pin boards, but still something was missing. And you know what it was? I realized that Pinterest is actually a search engine, not social media. There's no way to create relationships on Pinterest. Have you ever met a stranger on Pinterest that you're friends with now? Tell me in the comments. I have not. I have not met a single person on Pinterest. Something about that Instagram community kept calling my name. So I was like, okay, universe, I will try this one more time, but I'm gonna do it differently. So I had this light bulb moment in the shower where all good ideas come from. Let me know if you agree that you have really good ideas in the shower. It's like a little think box. I love it. But I realized Instagram isn't the problem. It was my approach to Instagram that was causing all the stress. I think I was managing like 14 Instagram accounts with no real system. It was just like a panic hopping from account to account, filling up all my time with tasks that made me feel busy and like I was earning the money I was getting, but actually not really producing tangible results. I was spending all my time posting and very little time seeking out my ideal customer. And so I realized social media trained us to become selfish posters, right? So like we want to collect all the gold coins, but rarely do we go out and spend them on other people. So like we want all the likes, we want all the engagement, but we never go out and like and engage on other people's posts, or at least I wasn't at the time. So the 4-part hashtags to customers system was born. And I created it. I tested it on myself. I kept tweaking it. I used it on my clients. And I still can't believe how much the system has like totally changed the game for me. By the way, I will be sharing the full system today, so get super pumped. But first, we're going to talk about the basics. What is a hashtag and why do we need them? So some people don't know, like, what is that £sign word that people put at the end of their posts? Anyways, hashtags are a filing system for all posts in Instagram, basically. You get to pick which file your post is stored in, and you can use up to 30 hashtags per post. Did I say you get to pick which file your post is stored in? Yeah, I thought I mixed those words up for a second. So it's like a categorization system. It's almost like search engine optimization for your Instagram posts. It's the only way for you to get discovered by new people. One of the only ways for you to get discovered by new people, and it really opens up your visibility on the platform. Aside from your name, your username, it's the only searchable part of Instagram. Isn't that weird how they set it up that way? But if you can tap into the tools that Instagram gives us, you can really get ahead of the game. Okay, but before I started using this system, do you guys want to guess what big mistake I was doing that kept me stuck? It was this: success happens in the hustle. Oh my gosh, I can feel this in the pit of my stomach. I don't know, do you guys know the Enneagram? I am an Enneagram 9, which means all of my choices are driven by what gives me the most peace inside my body. Like, I need to be at peace as often as possible, for better or for worse. And this idea of success happens in the hustle goes 100% against my like reason for being. But still I got wrapped up in it because that hustle mentality is what people say you need to do in order to get ahead. So imagine you're on one side of a river and your goal is to get to the other side of the river, and you have two options, of course. You can build a bunch of flimsy bridges and try to tiptoe across them, or you can build one sturdy bridge, stroll across confidently. That is the imagery that I want to use for this. More Instagram posts does not equal more followers. Instead, it should say more visible Instagram posts plus personal outreach, right? So instead of more posts, you want a few highly visible posts, and then you want to supplement your time with personal outreach. So what you want to do basically is find out where your ideal customers are hanging out on Instagram, show up there, bring some champagne, and start making relationships. So here it is, the 4-step hashtags to customer system. We're going to walk through it right now. Get out your pen and paper if you have not already. Or just take a picture of every single screen, which is what I do when I'm on master of classes all the time. I'm like screenshot, 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 modern note taking right here. Anyways, the 4-step hashtags to customer system, which is assess, attract, adore. And lastly is advertise. That one's optional, but it's actually super awesome and super affordable. So we're going to walk through all 4 of these steps. Number 1, assess. Okay, so I know as business owners, we probably all go through this exercise right when we start our business, but really knowing your audience is so essential. It's like oxygen for your business. Maybe you have like, brand avatars, you know her name, you know her career, her kids' names, you know everything about her, maybe. But if not, I like to look at my ideal customer from 2 different perspectives. First is to look at their demographics. So this is data-driven, easy to measure stats about your ideal customer. Age, location, gender, blah, blah, blah. Another cool way to look at your ideal market is their psychographics. So these are their hopes and dreams, what's keeping them up at night, what problems they have that they're hoping somebody can solve for them. These are more about their ideals and their interests. So I really like to use that when seeking out my ideal customer on Instagram. So think about the hashtags that this ideal customer would be searching for on Instagram. Maybe they follow this hashtag on Instagram, because you know how you can follow hashtags in addition to accounts. So if people are following hashtags, you could even show up in their feed. When they're doing their searches, you could show up near the top if you recently posted there, or if you had a really highly engaging Instagram post, or if it's a niche enough hashtag that not that many people have used it yet. That's how you're going to show up. Anyways, we're going to get more into this. Just think about that ideal customer and what they're searching for on Instagram, or where they're hanging out on Instagram. And so you might ask yourself, why aren't my posts converting to sales? Well, maybe you've been talking to the wrong people. Maybe you've been offering a solution to a problem that the audience you've been attracting doesn't have, right? Or maybe worse, you're not talking to anyone at all because you're only talking to the same 5 people that see your posts. So we're gonna figure out how to change the situation. Okay, step 2 is all about attracting your ideal customer that you just identified in the first step. And there's actually 2 parts, but we're going to start with part 1, which is attracting your ideal customer with the right hashtags. So hashtags on Instagram is basically free advertising. So like I said before, when someone searches something on Instagram, the only way to show up is based on the hashtags that you've used. So it's kind of like you're throwing a party and no one will come to the party unless you send out invitations, right? Hashtags are the invitations for your party. You got to send them out, or else when you don't use the right hashtags, no one sees your posts and your party is a total dud. Oh, let's not be this guy. Okay, so let me walk you through how to research hashtags on Instagram. I know there's all these other tools and stuff out there, but I just like to use the hashtag search function right within Instagram. It's free. It has the most up-to-date information, and it's really useful, actually. So pull out your phone right now. If you're on your phone, pull up your imaginary phone in your head, but we're going to use hashtag abundance. So let's say that abundance mindset is something that our ideal customer is interested in. So go to the search little magnifying glass on your phone, then tap the hashtag button, and this is how you search hashtags. So I would type in abundance there, and it pulls up all of the hashtags that start with the word abundance or have abundance in them. I'm half blind, so I have to lean in closer to my computer. So you'll see hashtag abundance has 5 million posts. That is way too many, to be honest. If you use hashtag abundance on your post, they're stored chronologically. So you're going to get buried pretty quickly because a lot of people are using that hashtag. I like to use hashtags up to 750,000 uses or below. So I like to use some super small that have only been used maybe like 10,000 times. I like to use some that are in the middle, maybe 250 to 500,000 times, and then some bigger ones right around 750,000 uses. But you can Also, so like hashtag abundance would not be such a good one. Hashtag abundance mindset would be awesome because it's 674,000. Manifesting abundance would also be awesome. It's 123,000. And so I go through here and I start writing down every single hashtag related to abundance that fits within my criteria. Then also, if you tap on abundance, it will pull up this. These are all the posts that use abundance, but you'll see where it says related, and it will tell you more hashtags that that person might be interested in. And you can scroll to the left actually. So it comes up with like about 10 hashtags there that are related to abundance that we might be interested in. So high vibration, spiritual growth, and a whole bunch of other ones. So I do this and I create a few lists of hashtags like this that I can then just copy and paste into my posts. Here's an example of 10 abundance related hashtags that fit great within my criteria of 750,000 uses or less. So I kind of go down this rabbit hole and I create these sets of 10 hashtags based on a similar topic, and I save them within my Instagram planner. I love Planoly. That's my go-to Instagram planner. Other people like Later, Plan, Preview, Buffer, a whole bunch of other ones. But if you're using a good Instagram planner, it should have a capability of saving hashtag sets. So you can copy and paste these in. Some people save them in the notes on their phone, but really that can be really time consuming. So using a planner is the way to go. Okay, so part B of step 2 is once you attract your ideal customer, you really want to win them over with an on-brand look and feel. So the hashtag gets you like a first impression, and then the look and feel of your account in general is the second impression, and that's what converts people into followers. So this is also known as brand identity, visual identity. If you want people to choose to follow you once they land on your page, it's time to start taking this seriously. So I have a visual identity plan that I use for all my accounts. You are welcome to screenshot this one too if you'd like. So let's walk through them. First, define your brand's unique values. Are you like fun and lively, clean and minimalist, youthful and rebellious? What makes your brand, stand out from other brands? What are some adjectives that describe your business and the personality, right, of the personification of your account? So you want to just basically write down a whole bunch of adjectives. Then you want to decide on your brand's colors and fonts that are reflective of those adjectives. So I really love to search Pinterest for this, for examples. And in the next slide, I'm going to show you a really cool example of what I'm talking about. But first, let's get through this. So third, you want to create a style guide. This can be so basic. It can even be in the notes on your phone. But it's basically just rules about how your design elements should be applied in your posts. So it could be like 3 main colors that you're going to use, 1 or 2 or 3 fonts that you're going to stick to. Are you going to do all capitals? Are you going to have title case where the first letter is capitalized? Are you going to have 3 or 4 emojis that you use often in your captions or when you're commenting on people? But by giving yourself rules, it makes it super easy when you're creating content to just stick to these rules. You know it's going to be an on-brand look and feel, and you don't have to keep recreating the wheel every time. I love finding freedom within rules because it just makes it so much easier. Okay, next, you want to curate your feed aesthetic. That's like such an Instagram word or phrase, you know what I mean? But it really does make a difference. So just like I was talking about Planoly before, I like to load a whole bunch of posts into Planoly ahead of time, like maybe 9 posts, and then kind of drag them around and figure out which layout looks the best. Oftentimes I like to do like a lighter post, then a darker post, then a lighter post, then a darker post. So it's not like a super like clear-cut checkerboard, but that it's very visually balanced and cohesive and pleasing to the eye when someone lands on my page. This is that second impression that I was talking about that people are going to see and think, oh, I get what their brand is about. They know what they're talking about. I'm going to follow because I like that one post and I bet I'll like more posts. So it really does make a difference. And then lastly, you want to apply that visual branding to the rest of your Instagram. So your profile picture, your highlight covers, your language that you're using in your bio, things like that. Just create a really cohesive account in general. That's how you're going to convert those people who find you on hashtags into followers. Okay, and here's the hot tip. Search brand identity design on Pinterest for inspiration. Here is a really fun one that I found from a brand called Jetlag. You'll see it has their 4 main colors. It has their 2 types of fonts that they use. It has different color schemes for using their logo against a colorful background. Lays it all out really nicely. I love working with brands who have this kind of stuff ready to go, and I can just like slip my content creation straight into their rules and everything looks awesome. So creating something like this for yourself will really up-level your account. Okay, the third thing you want to do for the hashtags to customers method is adore. Mary, what do you mean by that? Okay, so Dan Lok said it best. He said, the amount of money you make is in direct proportion to the amount of strangers you talk to every day. This is so 1000% true. I love it. And I don't know if he meant like networking at business networking parties or on the internet, but in today's day and age, I'm going to take this as meeting strangers on the internet every day. And that's what we're going to do. So I like to use outbound engagement to get visible in new streams of ideal customers. So do you know what I mean by outbound engagement? Basically, it's just like searching for your ideal customer on Instagram, commenting on her posts, finding something in common that you can ask questions about, watching her stories, reacting to them, basically just drawing a tiny bit of attention to yourself and inviting them to check out your feed. And your customers, like I said before, are self-identifying with hashtags. So it's super easy to search them out and just start spreading the love. So in step 2, we invited them to our party. In step 3, it's time for us to start showing up at their parties too. So one of my students, Ashley, messaged me the other day. She said, whoa, I did your outbound engagement strategy for 2 weeks and gained 150 new followers. All I did was flirt with them a little and compliment their posts. I guess they checked out my profile and wanted to follow. So awesome. I love when this works for people, when they actually put it into action and get amazing results, like 150 new followers. And these are like ideal followers, right? Awesome. A really cool tool I use for doing outbound engagement is called $80.com. It's just a Chrome plugin, so it's not like you have to give it your password or anything, but basically it just takes your Instagram feed and lays it out in a really cool way so you can type in the target hashtags that you want to use, so hashtags that your ideal customer is using herself, and then it just organizes them super well so that you can comment super fast, get in, get your outbound engagement done, and then go back to whatever you need to do. So when I'm talking about those hashtags, I mean, like, let's say my ideal customer is a busy mom of 3 or a busy mom, I don't know. So hashtags that I might use to find busy moms, I'm like, what hashtags would they use on their own posts? So maybe it's hashtag Target run or Target haul, hashtag Trader Joe's, hashtag mom of 3, hashtag mama gang or something like that, mom's night out, so you can think about all the different ways, like the funny little hashtags that they would use on their own posts. Just search those and you can find all the people who identify themselves with those hashtags. It's so cool. Okay, and our last step of the method is advertise. So like I said, it's optional, but it's super affordable and totally awesome. So give it a shot if you can. So does anybody know the rule of 7 in marketing? It says that a lead needs to see or hear your marketing message at least 7 times before they take action. So how in the world do we keep showing up 7 or more times? It could be super exhausting. Ooh, so of course I created a workaround, and that is retargeting ads. I know Kelly is probably an expert in ads. I like to just kind of dip my toe in ads with retargeting ads. But basically it's running an ad to people who have engaged on your Instagram account in the last, I only do 7 days. Sometimes, you know, you can do any amount of time really within 1 year, but I like to run these ads just to people who have engaged with my account in the last week. So I know they're really warm leads. So these are people who have commented on my posts, who have replied to a DM that I sent them in response to their stories. Maybe I commented on their post and I asked them a question and they replied to it. All those types of people are in this group that will see your ad. And it's so cool because it's constantly refreshed with these warm leads. So I leave an ad running for a while and the people who see it are constantly refreshed based on who my warm leads are. So, and do you want to know how much money I spend on this? People often guess, you know, like $25 a day, $10 a day. I actually only spend $2 a day on this because it's not a huge amount of people that have engaged with my account in the last 7 days. And I find that $2 a day is still super effective and super affordable. So I like to keep this running at all times. Sometimes I'll switch the ad out with different offers. You know, I like to do opt-in freebies. This is a great way to grow your email list, or put an ad for maybe like a low ticket offer. But it's super affordable and I just budget it in every month and it's totally awesome. So that's it, the hashtags to customers system: assess, attract, adore, and run ads. And so if there's one thing I want you to take away today, it's that you can connect with your ideal customer every day without posting every day. And so let me show you what I mean by that, like without posting every day. This is my weekly Instagram routine. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I post around 11 a.m. Then Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe on the weekends, I'll engage for 30 minutes. So rather than like I used to do, posting 7 days a week, busting my butt to create all this amazing content, keep putting it out there, but not really spending time engaging with my customer, now I only post 3 days a week. And then on the days when I'm not posting, I get out there and start showing up at my ideal customers' parties, right? So this is always a point when people ask, Mary, why do you post at 11 a.m.? What is the best time of day to post on Instagram? You might be wondering that. And my answer really is, it depends on your account. So I like to look at the insights on my Instagram and see when is my audience most on the platform, because Instagram tells you that information. So if you go to your insights and you go to the audience tab, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it will tell you the days of the week your audience is most on. It will tell them the hours of the day your audience is most on. Some people, it's just a straight line. Their audience is always on. But other people, it's really interesting. Maybe their audience totally drops off on the weekend, or opposite, maybe their audience is in an industry where they aren't on their phones that much. So they're only on in the evenings or on the weekends. I've had clients like that. So I like to post. For me, my audience really peaks at like 11:30 or 12, probably on their lunch break. So I like to post just shortly before that so that I can catch a whole bunch of people right when my post comes out. I hope that helps. So I actually have one more Instagram resource to share with you guys, if that is okay. And that is my hashtag Hero Academy. If you want to get your Instagram off the ground level. Oh, no audience insights if you have less than 100 followers. That is so interesting, Deanna. Thank you for sharing that. I know you have to have a business account to get those audience insights. Well, yeah, I guess that they need some information first before they can pull data on it. So I guess that makes sense. But let's get you to 100 followers. That is a really good goal to do and something that I think you can achieve pretty good with this system. Okay, so I'd love for you to join us in the Hashtag Hero Academy. The biggest thing that I love to offer with the Hashtag Hero Academy is my handpicked hashtags library, which is 2,500 hashtags that I have researched myself, divided into sets of 10 into about 12 different categories. And members of the Hashtag Hero Academy can also put in personal requests. So if you're in an industry where your ideal customer has a really specific thing that they're interested in, you can put in a request and we can add those hashtags into the library, which is super awesome. And then we also have tons of essential Instagram trainings, all the tutorials that people need to succeed. So it includes the hashtags to customer system, video training on all those steps. We have our video training about retargeting ads on a budget, like I was talking about. And then we also have a PDF training about that also, if you work better, like going step by step with a PDF. I know I do. The 2,500 plus hashtag library, you know what? I think we're about to 3,000 now, but I'm not positive. We update it every month. And then we have community support by way of a Facebook group where you can ask me questions whenever you want. We have a Planoly training. There's so much to Planoly that people don't actually realize at first. And I am like super deep into Planoly next level tactics. So I have a whole training about it. We have our captions that convert training that our students really love. And we seriously have like so much more stuff in there. But this is the kind of stuff that will really get your posts seen without having to post daily, right? Without having a ton of followers. It'll finally get you connected with the right people on Instagram. And it's only $29 a month, which I think is super affordable, and I'm actually probably going to be raising the price soon. This is my introductory rate that we've had for a while now, but you get access to an Instagram group coach as $29 a month. That's like insane, kind of. Plus the personally picked hashtags. People really love that feature because no matter what your industry is, you can get hashtags specific for you. So whether you're like Kim, who's a service provider in the UK, she said, I really love your hashtag membership. The mini course is super useful and so easy to understand and implement. Your hashtag library is amazing and so much thought and research has gone into them. Super useful for someone like me who hasn't got huge amounts of time to do the much needed research. Thank you. So whether you're like Kim or maybe you're more like Annabelle, she's a life coach in San Francisco. She said, thank you so much, Mary. I'm excited to be part of this group and extra excited to work with you. I have several projects in the works and dialing in my Instagram will make all of that work even better. I completely trust you and I can't wait to see where this takes us. So sweet. So yeah, with $29 a month, there's also a $290 a year option. That's great if you are a someone who likes deals. You get 2 months for free that way. Super awesome. And oh, I also have a bonus right now, which is the home photo shoot guide. People are going bonkers over this, especially right now while we're all kind of, you know, not out and about as much. This teaches you how to take your own brand photos for Instagram inside your house by yourself. Working with photographers can be, well, expensive, but also just challenging logistically. So I don't know, maybe you work with a photographer once a year, but you just want some more pictures for your Instagram. You want to build like a brand photo library that you can tap into. That's what this guide shows you how to do. So that's about it. If you would like to join us, you can go to hashtag-hero.com. I wrote myself a note. Don't forget the free Instagram Essential Bundle, which is true. I need to give you guys the link to that. And actually, I put it at hashtag-hero.com. If you scroll to the bottom, there's a little link that says masterclass freebie or something like that. I forget exactly what it said. But that's where you can download the free Instagram Essentials Bundle as well. But yeah, I am here to answer questions. I can hang out as long as we need to. You can also email me or hit me up on Instagram. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for being here with us today, guys. And throw your questions at me. I'm ready, if you have any. I'm going to pull your pictures back up. you don't have any questions, that's okay too. And for those of you watching the replay, of course, just send me an old DM on Instagram. I'm pretty much there 24/7. So do you do $1.80? How much time do you spend daily? That's a great question. Yes, and I actually have a team member who helps me out with it also. So she logs into my $1.80 account. We like to spend 30 minutes a day. I know on $1.80, they recommend 90 comments per day. That's why it's called $1.80, right? So they're saying you're putting your 2 cents on people's posts, and after 90 posts, that adds up to $1.80. I have to be honest, I have never made it to 90 comments in a single day. However, I did 45 comments one time. It took me 45 minutes and I saw a huge boost afterwards. So it is worth it if you put the time in, but we usually spend 30 minutes every time we sit down. We usually get about 30 comments out there, and yeah, it's super effective. Whether you're doing it through $1.80.com or you can just do it, you know, on your phone watching TV at night. Keep the comments super easy, you know. You don't want to look like, not so easy that you look like a robot, but easy enough that you look like just a nice human. You do 10 to 25, but trying to bump it up. Yep, exactly. Yeah, I know. It's sometimes we want to give a lot in comments, but feel free to make them a little bit easy, like more simple, right? One tactic I do love is to include question mark, to commit to ending everything with a question mark, right? So having a question at the end of all of my comments to encourage people to reply back to me. So a lot of times it's just like, this is so cute, where'd you get your shoes? I ask people where they get their shoes all the time. That's like my go-to question, because it's really dumb, but they take it as a compliment. They have to answer you back. And then they're like, ooh, who's this person that just complimented me? And then they hop over to your account and they're like, oh, wow, she does XYZ. I need that in my life. I'm going to follow her. And that's the whole strategy right there. The people that run $1.80.com also are like the most adorable, amazing people. They're from New Zealand and they're just like so awesome. So I've kind of fallen in love with them also, which is great. Like they totally personalized their account, because I've never met them in real life, but somehow they started commenting on my things. They DM'd me, and now I have a relationship with them based on them applying some of these strategies right here, right? So they built a relationship with me, and now I am preaching their website to everyone I know. So they did a really good job at that. Oh, good, you subscribed this week. Yep, exactly. And I think we talked about how you can use it for different accounts also. So just make sure whatever account you're logged into on your desktop, that's the one you'll be commenting. So if you want to switch accounts, just go over to your Instagram tab, log into another account, and then go back to the $1.80 tab, and it will be synced to the new account that you're logged into. Yep. All right. Well, I think we're pretty much done here, but thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to shoot me a message if you want, and I will see you on the gram. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.